All right, here we're looking at the basics of our one-step algebra problems. And what algebra does is it gives us a different way to think about math on both sides of the equal sign. So I have 4 examples here. X plus 2, so I'm adding something. X minus 3 equals 6, I'm subtracting something. 4x equals 12, I'm multiplying something. And notice X is my unknown. The fact that these are next to each other means that I'm multiplying. And then over here, x over 5, I'm dividing. And again, dividing, I write it like a fraction. So whatever I'm doing here, my goal is to get x by itself. So x plus 2, if and I'd rather have x by itself because then I can clearly see x equals something. Then plus 2, I have to do the opposite. So I'm adding 2, I have to subtract 2, and then I have to do the same thing to the other side of the equal sign. Subtract 2. Because these two look different, but they're equal. So, and that's some deeper math wisdom. They look different, but are of equal value. So add 2, I subtract 2, and then if they're equal, and if I do the same thing to both sides, they're still equal. So 2 minus 2, that cancels out. So I'm left with x, and then I just over here do 5 minus 2 is 3. And all these are going to be, simple numbers so that you can see, but it's really about practicing this method because it will get more complicated. X minus 3. So again, I want x by itself. And if I'm subtracting 3, I want to do the opposite. I want to add 3. And because these are equal, if I add 3 over here, if I do the same thing over here on the other side of the equal sign, they're still equal. Add 3, that cancels. 6 plus 3 is 9. So that's really what we're doing. We're identifying what I'm doing here, do the opposite, and do the same thing to the other side. And then what do I get after that? So down here I'm multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So divide by 4, and then I have to do the same thing over here, divide by 4. So then 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now 1x, I actually don't have to write the 1 because the fact that it's there means it's 1. So then 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then over here, I'm dividing. So what I want to do is multiply. Now how I might write this is I might write times 5 or 5 over 1 if you'd rather do it that way. So either way, you can put 5 times 5 or 5 over 1 just to remind you what lines up. Either way works. But I multiply by 5, and then you see that cancels, and that's what leaves me down to x. Multiply by 5, do the same over here, times 5. So x equals 50. So that's what we have. All the 4 basic one-step problems. Do the same thing. What am I doing? I want to do the opposite. And then what am I doing to the left? I want to do the same thing to the right. And then keep progressing like that, and you can solve any math problem.